Would you upgrade to 03 for freestyle or 90 FPS HDZero? Gregory Carr, the flight feel of the 90 FPS HDZero camera is unparalleled. If you care at all about performance flying and you have the opportunity to try the 90 FPS camera, you have to do it. Now, I'm not saying that it will make you switch. I'm saying, like, think about it this way. If you have the opportunity to eat at a how many Michelin stars are there? 3 stars? 4 stars? If you have the opportunity to eat at even a 1-star Michelin star restaurant in your life, you should take it, right? I don't know if everyone here is familiar with Michelin stars. They're very, very prestigious. Only like even a 1-star Michelin star restaurant is going to be the best dining experience you've ever had in your life, unless you regularly eat at Michelin star restaurants. And any restaurant with more than 1 Michelin star is just world class. Okay. So like a dinner at a Michelin star restaurant might be $500 a plate or $200 a plate. You might not be able to afford it, but it's like, if you're ever like, hey, so-and-so wants to take us to a Michelin star restaurant, but I was really thinking about watching the game that day, or I don't know if I'm really tired. No, shut up, go, right? Well, it's a 1 Michelin star restaurant, but it's sushi, and I really hate sushi. I don't hate sushi, but go with it. No, just go. Just shut up, go. And that's what the HDZero 90 FPS camera is like. It is a genre-changing experience that maybe you'll have that experience and go, no, it's not really for me. But you owe it to yourself to give yourself the opportunity to experience it. And maybe you'll be like, oh my God. And then you'll be glad you did it. And the chance that you'll be like, oh my God. See, there's a lot of stuff out there that, like, I'm like, yeah, maybe you like it, maybe you don't. But it's not like it's going to completely change your perspective. It's just not going to do that. Flying the 03 air unit at 4K, or 1080p, rather, 1080p. Like, oh, that's really a special experience. But you could kind of have that experience by looking at a YouTube video and going, oh, okay, yeah, it looks pretty good. It's not exactly the same as flying it. But you cannot have the experience of flying a 90 FPS camera with 14 milliseconds of latency just by watching a YouTube video. The only way to have that experience is to hold the controller in your hands and fly the quad yourself. And so, I'm not saying you should spend $500 on the HDZero goggles and $100 on whatever the camera costs, the video transmitter, just to have that experience, only to find out, it wasn't for me. But I am saying that if you're at an event, if you have a friend, if there's anybody within a 60-mile radius of where you live who has that equipment, buy them lunch. Beg to borrow it and let you take a pack on it, because it's really something. Now, having said all that, the hesitation that I would have is 100% the resolution and image quality is way less than DJI. But I flew analog for a long time and I got things done. I would tolerate the 540p resolution, which I still think is better than most analog quads that I flew, because I would feel like the improvement in control and connectedness that I got from the frame rate and the latency offset the difference in resolution. Maybe. Except if I was like flying in a really scraggly area, not being able to see the branches might really piss me off and I might miss DJI. See, these are the things that I still don't know. The durability of the HDZero gear, for whatever it is, it's not as good as DJI, and I'm not sure if I would start to be annoyed at how many VTXs I was breaking. Don't know. That's an unknown. And the range and penetration of the system is worse than DJI, and I'm not sure how much that would really annoy me in the real world. Those are the things that I still sort of want to figure out. But the experience of flying that camera was so eye-opening to me that I definitely am putting it in at least one of my perfect freestyle build and going to be taking it out and using it. And then I'll either go, yeah, this was great, or I'll go, no, it turns out the downsides were offset the good stuff. I don't know yet, but I definitely am going to be giving it a chance. Up till now, I never put HDZero in one of like my main quads, except for Tiny Whoops. Tiny Whoops, HDZero, fantastic. Love it. Best thing going. But for a 5-inch, nah. I'm just not going to do it. But now that has changed for sure. Ooh, we got a hot conversation going on in the chat. Okay. Thank you, Gregory Carr, for that question. Oh, so would you upgrade to O3 for freestyle? I think that the dynamic range and latency of the O3 air unit mean I would take a Vista over the O3 for freestyle because of the better low light sensitivity, better dynamic range. I think that the O3 looks very good when you first see it. It's very impressive. And the more I fly it, the more annoyed I am at the dynamic range and the dark shadows and the poor exposure handling. There's actually a firmware update I haven't tried yet. I've just been too busy to try it. That supposedly makes it better, but I'm a little skeptical as to how good it's going to be. Many people have switched. Vanover flies the O3 on all his freestyle rigs and it doesn't seem like it's holding him back. But I think I would probably stick with the Vista. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question or at least gives some perspective.